Ow. Okay, we're back working on the Z28 today. If you watched the last video, I changed out the ECM in here with a used unit I got off of eBay and switched the problems and put it back in, see if it fixed the issue with the car starting up and staying running. Spoiler alert, it didn't. So we're back today. I am going to change the choke thermostat, and I'll show why here. See if you guys can hear it. See if I can actually film this. So on these Quadrajet carburetors, the choke is supposed to set itself, and the choke front butterfly is right here. When you crank the throttle before you start the car, if you let it push it all the way in and let it go, it's supposed to open up and set to about an eighth inch or so space there and hold itself while it warms up. If you notice this, when I run the throttle, it opens up, but it's not open up all the way and just goes down. But if I do all the way here, I'll try and do this with my hand. You can maybe hear it. Hear that pop over? The choke isn't opening all the way there. So that is the way it should sit when I let go of it, but if I let go, it does that. So we're gonna undo the choke thermostat here and switch it out, and luckily, it's riveted in. And even more luckily, there's all this shit in the way to get to the one at the very bottom. So we're gonna do that. But before I can do that, since you use the choking position to set your high idle, we got to go back into the car and fix the gauge cluster, because the tach, as I mentioned before, isn't working. It reads at about, I don't know, 2,000, 2,500 RPM higher than what it should be. So I got a tach replacement circuit board here from Cajun Tach Shop. So we're going to go in there, switch it out really quick, and then we'll come here and worry about the choke, and hopefully that way we'll be able to at least see what RPM we're running and see if we can fix this issue. So let's get it all set up and go into the car. Okay, pretty much to change this out, you don't have to do anything special. You don't even have to drop the column. You just remove the Torx bits that go around it. Then you'll, underneath this outer bezel, there will be the little lens covers here, and there's a few zip nuts, I guess, for lack of better words, what they're called. They're like little stamped sheet metal nuts that you take off, pull the glass off, and then you kind of just unbolt the tach and pull that out, and then you remove the old circuit board from the back of the tach and put on the new one. So let's get going. So now we just got to remove these 4 nuts here, and it should slide right off. Old board, I mean, it looks pretty toasty. I guess it's a little dark over here around the edges. That could just be age, who knows. Let me go get the other one, we'll pop it on. So interestingly enough, it looks like this tach has already been replaced, because this is a 84 Z28 and this tach is from 86. or maybe it was servicing A6. I'm not quite sure. Here's the guy that I got it from. If you see that, that's his info. So hopefully this fixes the issue. If not, we can blame it on him. Easy enough. This install this side on tack. Just line up the holes and pop it through. Now just put it back the way you got it. Okay, I got it kind of zoomed in as best as I can. Right now we're going to try and drill out the 3 rivets here around the choke thermostat, and all this stuff is right in the way, so we'll see what we can do. I do have on safety glasses because no matter any time I drill anything, something always flies in my eye. So safety at some point in time in your process, you can decide if you want it first or whenever. I don't care. Just don't get shit in your eyes, it hurts. Alright, let's see if we can get this out. don't know if this necessarily looks bad or not. Never take one of these apart, but it's out now, so we shall see. So choke is now sitting wide open. It's not doing that pop over thing. The new choke comes with these odd, you see it, triangular shaped kind of 1032 bolts, screw head bolts. I don't know if I need to tap these out or if they'll kind of self tap, so I'm going to check that real quick and I'll start popping it all back together. Tapping time. I'm using a ratchet because I can't fit a normal tap handle in here, so it is what it is. It's really soft aluminum, so luckily I don't really have to keep going in and backing out. Or use cutting oil. I'm just doing everything wrong. Okay, here, so we have the old choke and then the new choke. The old choke right here has a notch. Where's my finger? Right there. That's supposed to, there's at least a little tick right here in the housing. This one, which is supposed to be a direct replacement choke, has the tick down here at the bottom. Now, I don't know when this one fell off exactly which way that was facing, so I'm going to line up that tick and hopefully it'll be sitting about the same. And this one has less coil to it than this. It's almost like this one may have been wound up a little bit to get to kind of sit in the same area. We'll see. I'll try to slide this on here. Let me actually maybe start the bottom bolt and see if something makes that a little easier. Do you guys misplace your tools all over the place? I sure as hell do. Now, will this work? No clue. Okay, back when the car was running, the tach was way off. It would read anywhere from, like, at the low idle would be around 2500 up to idling about 45 to 5. And I never had any signal through the oil pressure gauge. This needle was just stuck all the way up. So, first of all, let's see if the car starts. See if it runs. We'll see what this reads. Okay, so the tach is fixed. So that Cajun Tach Shop, that right there, if your tach isn't working, that circuit board fix it. Didn't do anything with the oil pressure though, so maybe I gotta change out the sending unit. The choke is set, so let's see if she starts to want to run. The choke is warming up and opening itself up. Tach's reading about 1750. And there we go, still the same old bullshit. Well, at least the tach is fixed, so I don't know what the other problem is with the with this damn car as to why it won't just stay running. So if you have any ideas, let me know.